They begin the drive with John. Whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. Now Brady throwing on second down. And he'll find his man on the
holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. So we have reached halftime here. What's that? Now? Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show. I guess we're ready for the third quarter. Let's go. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Still first down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a first down throw for Newton. And Davis with it left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll make this a second down. And as these numbers show, last week, great game. This week, not the case.
And sometimes it's not just as simple as throwing the football. It's the rhythm of the game, managing it, being in sync with your teammates. Last week, everything was coming together really well. We're not seeing that so far in this one.
No, unfortunately not at all for him.
Anytime you call man coverage against Larry Fitzgerald, you're really holding your breath as a defensive guy, because his ability to run such precise routes and use that big frame that he has, that body.
And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second down, Johnson. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. So here come the Lions now. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes the play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Off play action. Newton finding time. This is caught inside the 15. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Adrian Peterson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions have got it back to a one-score game.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And the Rams getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down. Not
a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
This one caught left side by Cooper. 20. Touchdown, L.A. Riley Cooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams add on to their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And here's Shane Graham now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those. As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. But he didn't on that play.
Newton. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Robert Quinn in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
Now Newton. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in the touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time.